Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be building some cornhole boards. I call them clean cornhole boards, and the reason I call them that is I use the Kreg jig, so you see no external fasteners except for the bolts to hold the legs on. Some you see now are built pretty cheap with 2x4s, and they just use decking screws right through the top, which of course splits the wood and puts dents in the wood. I'm going to speed up all the cuts, but I will do a cut list at the end so you can see exactly what I cut, all the lengths I was cutting, and then I use the Kreg jig to put it together. I got another video that shows you how to use the Kreg jig if you're curious about that. And thanks again for watching my channel, Buckland Woodworking via Uncle Buck on YouTube. Thanks. So all the cuts are done, the 1x4s. So before you take it over to the Kreg jig, it's always a good idea to kind of mock it up and make sure everything is lining up and none of your cuts were off. So now that that's done and it's mocked up, I'm gonna hit the Kreg jig. Alright, so the way this cut list is set up, the smaller ones are gonna go on the inside. That's what gives us our 24. Taking 1.5 inches, that's why we cut 22.5. So that being said, remember the long ones, or the sides, do not need pocket holes. So essentially the only pocket holes we're putting in the long ones, or the sides, are the ones to affix it to the plywood, to hold the plywood down. So just keep that in mind before you accidentally cut some in the ends. All right, now the frames are fully assembled. We are ready to attach them to the top. In this case, I'm using really nice birch plywood. So I put something underneath just to keep the floor from scoring it up. All right, so sometimes this will happen. Some of the screws will run too deep. By the way, I use 1 1/4 Kreg jig screws for the frame, and I use 1 inch to secure the top down to the frame. So in this case, what I'm showing you is every now and then, no matter how careful you are, see that one that came through? Sometimes it just runs deeper into the soft pine. At any rate, I'll show you what I do to fix that. I take one of these 3M mandrels right here that's actually made for like a 90-degree die grinder or Dotco, and I just throw it in my drill. Set the drill to your highest setting. And I just kind of feather it down, and by the time you touch that up with the palm sander, you'll never know it was there. So that's how you can kind of correct any mistakes that come through. All right, on the cut list, you will see some of the 1x4s at 1 foot. So the 1-footers are for the legs. So I cut them as blanks to 1 foot. As you can see, I keep this laying around the shop just kind of like a template. I actually like to rip them down to 2.5. I think that's better. And then the degrees is 65 degrees for the angle. That's the angle I found is the best. So it rolls in and tucks in. All right, so what I do here is you can see my stack up off in the back here. I just take random scrap wood from the shop, stack it up until I get the desired height, which needs to be 12 inches at the back. So that's perfect right there. So my stack up's good. So now what I gotta do is I just put the leg on the inside, mark the hole on the inside, do it on both sides, take it out and drill.